If your senses only show appearances, you need to ask whether anything exists beyond those appearances. Russell starts by questioning the world you think you know. You feel certain that there is a physical world around you, but that confidence is built on your senses. Your senses have already shown themselves to be unreliable. This forces a deeper question. If appearances shift, is there something stable behind them? Russell calls this stable thing matter. He asks whether matter exists independent of your perception. You believe it does, but you need a reason for this belief. You cannot rely on sight or touch alone because those experiences change. You need a stronger foundation. Russell begins this search by separating what you experience from what might cause the experience. This separation guides the entire chapter. You study knowledge by first asking what your mind knows with certainty. Russell opens the chapter by explaining that most of what you believe depends on memory, testimony, and sense experience. He wants you to pause and test these beliefs with strict care. You wake up each day trusting your memories. You trust the words people speak to you. You trust the information your senses provide. Russell warns you that these sources are not always reliable. You build your picture of the world on them, yet each source carries limits you must examine. He explains that knowledge has layers. Some beliefs feel secure, others feel weaker. You must learn to separate strong knowledge from weak belief. This separation gives you a firm base for deeper study. Russell turns your attention to instinctive beliefs. These are the ideas you accept without effort. You do not question them because they feel natural. He argues that you should not throw them away, but you should test them with discipline. This testing protects your mind from confusion. He then explains the role of reason. Reason checks your instinctive belief. You search for certainty, but Russell shows you how difficult it is to reach. He begins with the idea of knowledge by acquaintance. This means you know something through direct experience. You do not need arguments or theories. You face the thing itself. He explains that you have direct acquaintance with your sense data. These are the colors, shapes, sounds, and textures that reach your mind. They arrive without effort. They appear before you the moment you open your eyes or touch an object. Russell points out that this direct experience feels solid. It feels clear. When you see a bright patch of red, you know you are seeing that patch. There is no debate about that immediate experience. The doubt enters when you try to move from the sense data to the object behind it. You see a red patch, but you cannot confirm the full nature of the thing that produced it. You know the appearance, but you do not know the full reality behind the appearance. He shows you that this distance between what you experience and what exists creates the first major problem in knowledge. You think you know the world, but you only know the parts that reach you through your senses. Russell studies this problem with patience. He breaks down each step in the chain between appearance and the external world. He wants you to see each link clearly. You receive sense data. You form beliefs. You judge objects. You then assume those objects match your beliefs. This chain contains gaps. These gaps matter. They show why certainty is rare. They show why you must examine each belief before trusting it. You now look at the second layer of Russell's argument. You understand that your senses give you appearances, not the thing itself. In this scene, Russell pushes you to ask a harder question. If your senses only show you shifting appearances, what gives you the confidence that an object exists behind those appearances? You see a pattern in your experience. The color of an object changes with light. The shape changes with angle. The texture changes with distance. None of these qualities stay fixed. They shift every time your position shifts. Russell wants you to notice something important. You do not treat these changes as proof that the object disappears. You believe there is something stable behind the changes, something you cannot see directly, something that stays the same even when the appearances move. He calls this the physical object. It is the thing you assume to exist when all the appearances vary. You never touch the physical object directly. You only touch the sense data that appear to you through your senses. Russell shows you that your belief in a physical object is an interpretation, not a direct experience. You infer its existence because it makes sense of the shifting appearances. You build a stable world by assuming there is something solid behind the variations. This raises the key issue of the chapter. If all you have are sense data, and sense data are unstable, how secure is your belief in a stable world? Russell does not remove your confidence. He reshapes it. He teaches you to separate what you experience from what you believe exists behind the experience. This separation prepares you for the deeper questions that come next.